How we doing there? Oh, now we got some audio. A battery died on my wireless mic. I probably should have hardwired. Anyway, let's start this again. Jason White, Jason the Drone Guy, and I have Little Dog with me here. She got her toy for all to see. Falling way behind. Come here, Little Dog. Come on, come on. Come and get your toy. Come here. There's Little Dog. I'm falling way behind on my editing. So Little Dog likes to sit on my lap normally when I edit. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but what do you do? I needed some form of inspiration to get editing, so I decided that maybe live streaming my edit sessions and having other people have input or at least see what I do and see my workflow. It's probably much different than most others, but you know, we do what we can with what we got. So anyway, right now I'm going to edit some photos for my website. Just restarting Lightroom. It's a finicky program, and when you create a new catalog, it always has to restart. One of the things I really dislike about Lightroom, but I love the program. I find it, the ease of editing is, and the speed of the editing is just right there. It's so good. Anyway, here I'll show it to you here. This is my screen, and Lightroom's going to pop up here shortly with a new catalog. And then we'll import the photos that off of the card that I just inserted in the back of the computer. Little Dog is my buddy. Hi, Little Dog. She seems to like. Oh, there's Lightroom. Let's get a look here. Little Dog likes to watch hockey with me, and she likes to edit with me. She likes to do everything, as long as she's sitting on my lap. She is my little buddy. She's not my dog, but she stays here a lot, so we get to hang out. All right, so the catalog's up. Now we'll load up some photos here. We'll import some photos into the library. Give us something to edit. Hi, Little Dog. Hi, little buddy. Include subfolders, yeah. Capture time. Oh yeah, this is going to be challenging. Unselect all. Just select the ones we want, which will be these. Select them. Enter. All right. So like I said, my workflow isn't the same probably as other people's. I'm self-taught on this program. So I use it the way that it works for me, and it may not work for everybody the same. That's auto. There we go. So what I do is I basically auto it, and then I edit from there. The first thing I'll do is turn up the shadows. So this was my workstation yesterday at for a live stream I was doing for a really good client. Of course, there's no way to show you that live stream because the video is all copyright, and it's all hidden. Only the client sees it. I'll get rid of some of that orange. A little bit of red here. A blue. So texture and clarity are two pretty important sliders on, for me anyway, in Lightroom. I sort of use them to offset each other. I know that's probably not how they teach you to do it, but it kind of works for me. A little grainy there. Let's turn down the blacks just a little bit. There we go. Just do a little masking. Option. Just getting rid of some of that noise in the background. I'll show it to you in a second. This up here, it kind of looks a little grainy. I'm going to get rid of some of that. So I'm just going to highlight I'm adding a mask. So what this does, I'll show you what I've done, is I've added the area that's in pink here in just a second. Or maybe it isn't. Yeah, or in red. Let's get rid of some of that. I'm going to pretend like you don't know anything about Lightroom. So what I'm doing here is I'm removing parts of the mask because I only want to edit what's inside the mask. And the mask is everything you see that's red. I'm going to shut off the red in just a second. I just turned it on to show you what exactly I'm doing. So everything that's inside there, I'm now going to pop this up a little bit. See what's happened? Only this area right here is brightening when I do this. Here, I'll pop that right up so it'll blow it out. See what I mean? So I'm only editing that area. The blacks just a little bit more native color. Okay. So now I'm going to add in just a second I'm going to add a new mask for just this area up here. And maybe this area down here. Yeah, I'll show you that area. See, I've sort of just about everywhere that we weren't editing before. That's close enough. There's a feather, so the edges will sort of feather out, so it'll fade the whatever I do. So what that does is it kind of I don't know how to explain it. It creates a border, but a border that sort of does a dissolve. Anyway, we're going to darken this background, what we just did there. We'll just add a little bit more. There we go. Fix up these edges. Maybe in there as well. Bring the blacks up. Because what's happening in the background really isn't that important. It's mostly about the setup here. And like I said, this is going on my, if it turns out, it's going to go on my website under the streaming area just to show that we do this. Some more of this area here. Oop. If I'd have shot this properly and, exposed for this properly and lit it properly, I wouldn't need to do all this fancy stuff to it. It just could be a 10-second edit and we're done. Maybe add a little clarity. I don't know, we're not going to do that. There we go. A little clarity here. Add some texture and subtract some clarity. Again, not everybody does, but I like to use these as sort of opposing. It's like salt and pepper. Somebody I used to know say they cancel each other out. I don't think that's what happens with clarity and with texture, but I think that they sort of yin and yang in my mind. I'm probably 100% wrong on that, but I like the look of it when one is up and the other's down a little. There we go. Bring up some highlights. I'll call that. Normally I like the highlights right down and the shadows right up, but I didn't give myself much to play with on this shot. Oh gosh, look at that. That's not good. Darken this out. Oh, it's probably better that there isn't any. Brighten that up a little bit. It's an important piece of equipment. For this live stream, I use the Sling Studio. It works really well. It's easy, it's fast, it sets up quickly. And I don't always have a lot of time for setup at this particular shoot. The stream starts at 9 a.m. and I have an hour, basically, which I guess is lots of time, to set up, what do I set up? 4 cameras. 4 cameras. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cameras. 3 with the Sling wireless and 2 with the app on Apple devices. So I really dig that the Apple devices on the Apple app for to use as cameras on the Sling Studio. It just works out so good. There's no cabling, no nothing. It's really so simple. I can set a iPod or a phone or whatever somewhere, and it instantly a camera. I mean, I don't cut to them often, but I do use them for, over the shoulder shots and things like that. Things that are sort of cutaways. Anyhow, let's. God, I'd like to get rid of some of the red on that. Excuse me. That can go too. This little area isn't that important. Over the edge there. Awesome. The buffer zone kind of disappeared on this one. So the red's right off is maybe not the best way to go, because it did need a little bit of color. Just add another mask and brighten the computer up a little bit. Look, I know there's no wrong way to do any of this stuff, and the right way is whatever works for you, and this is sort of how it works for me. I mean, there's probably faster ways to do this. I guess the fastest way to do it would be to shoot it right in the first place, but I didn't do that. Let the computer buffer a little. A little over the edge isn't a problem anyway. Like I said, it dissolves off, it falls off. It's not a hard line. So that's good. Shoot, that's the wrong button. Nope, not done. Get rid of that. I like the crushed black look. So, and what that means is, you see here, this is the black's a little too hot. See how it kind of whitens things? I like the detail in that. It comes from the blacks being a little lower. You know, add some haze. I'm constantly tweaking the blacks because every time I adjust the white, I adjust the black. And every time I adjust the haze, I adjust the black. And every time I adjust the sharpness, I adjust the black. To me, the blacks make the picture pop. What a messy workspace. Technically I could remove all these cables, but they were there in the shot, and they were there when I shot it, so I'll keep them. Let's see if we can't get this sucker to pop a little bit. Amazing. As I bring up the exposure and expose properly to the picture, I'm getting yellow and amber hues. So we'll get rid of some of that. Line that up a little bit. Maybe it's greens that I've seen. Oh, I like that. I like the sort of cold blue on the computer. Although we're not getting much here. Boy, I could have picked better photos to try to show off what I'm doing here. What am I doing? Black. Well, let's come back to that one. What do we got here? Oh, that's a terrific photo that'll be out of focus. So let's just remove that. Not even sure what some of these are. That's how bad they were photographed. But it also shows you the magic of Lightroom. You can take a photo that's this bad and this black and turn it into something completely different. And there you go. With the 2 buttons, it became a photo. I remember when I took the shot, I was thinking to myself, wouldn't it be nice to get some detail on that? This is a camera right here. Get some detail on this camera, but I don't think that's going to work out. Well, let's see what we can do with the mask. It's going to be soft for sure. It's going to be out of focus and grainy. Still some of the camera up there. Still some of it down there. Here. Watch how this thing will pop when I turn this off. Pretty funny. Let's bring the shadows up instead. Bring that white back down to normal. Pop the highlights. Add some haze. Yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to get that back. Let's see, what was this one? The funny thing is that if I took these with the iPhone, I probably would have gotten much better photos. I'm not saying anything about the quality of iPhone versus the quality of my DSLR, but this needed to be autoed, and I didn't auto it. I left the camera settings on the settings that I use for real estate, and I like the raw files for real estate, so I can edit. But that often means that a lot of this stuff disappears. A lot of the information, well, it's there, but it's not noticeable in the photo. So when you edit, you can really manipulate them better. But the actual photo itself doesn't always look the best when you take the photo. But when you're done editing, it looks amazing. I probably should have grabbed these with my iPhone. I have an iPhone 11 Pro that takes amazing photos. Here, let's see if I can find you one here. Through my 100 Google security alerts for setting up a live stream. I took a great shot that actually somebody wants to buy, so I might as well edit it while we're here. There's a whole bunch more. I'll email them to myself. Email. Don't tell these people that I actually took this photo with my cell phone. Sebastian, the guy that I shoot with often, he wanted to stop and get some photos. It was a cool sky. I'll show you in a minute. It was a really cool sky, and we were in a top secret location in Grey County, and he stopped and got out with his Sony A7 III with a 70 to 200 lens, 2.8 or whatever it is, fast lens that takes amazing photos. And I was like, well, let's see what I can do just from the car. So I just stuck my iPhone out the window, posted the photos, and I had one person want to buy them. Well, one of them anyway. So we'll edit that now. And it's funny, I sent Sebastian a message and said, for the win, iPhone for the win, because the client wanted the photo. You know what? I like these two. Let's edit these as well. Let's have a bit of fun with this. Maybe that one. There we go. I'll send that to myself. It's going to be too big to send. I'll have to airdrop it, but yeah, actual size. Use mail drop. Okay. So any second now I should be receiving an email that with those photos, and we'll edit those instead. These ones are going to take too much work, and you're not going to want to watch that. Surprised you stuck around this long to watch this. Little dog, here's your toy. All right, so here's these photos. Let's go here. We'll download all of those. Save all. I'm not going to save there. I'll save to that drive. iPhone. Photos. iPhone photos to be printed. Create. We'll save. Get out of my email. Go back to that. So I'm going to do something I normally don't like to do. Usually I create a new catalog, so when I try to find these later, I'll know where they are. But just for this purpose, I'm just gonna, because it'll restart. And anyway, we're just gonna import them. Library, import. Go here. And we'll pull in all those. So when I took these photos, I actually was thinking of selling these to the municipality, but they look a little soft, I think, so. Maybe because they're just not loaded completely. I don't think the quality's there. Well, it doesn't look so bad there, but it sure does look bad here. Anyway, we'll edit them up and see what we get. That one might be better. So I need this at 2 by 3. Do I want the treetops? Or do I want the fence? Let's see what it looks like. You know what, I kind of like it like that. So these photos are basically going to be black and white anyway, but I might add a little color to the sky here in just a second. Let's auto that. Dehaze it just a little bit. Too much. Normally I go texture and clarity opposites, but sometimes it works that, how good does this look up close? Oh, it looks soft, or is that just... Yeah, I don't think this is going to blow up as well as the client, as the person who wants to buy it would think. Anyway, we're going to go black and white, so let's... black and white. I'll see what we got for black and white. Oh, you know what? Oh, I kind of like that. These are all presets that come with Lightroom. Split tone. But so far for me, the winner is a low contrast. I don't know why that is. Anyway, we're gonna put some detail into the buildings. And add a little, bring down the highlights just a hair. This is going to look really good actually in black and white. Yes. Yes. Oh, let's see my blacks, bring them down. Crush those just a little bit. Wow, there isn't much editing to that. And I already like that photo. Let's see if we can't get it up full screen. Yeah, I'm not overly excited about that. Loss of detail there. You know what? Maybe we can cheat some of that. doing this. Let's get a little bit of noise reduction. You know, that is a cool photo. There's basically the original. Again, I have to crop it to 2x3 because they want it to, I don't know what they wanted, something like 40 inches by 60 inches or something. So I have to crop it to 4x3. Otherwise, this would be the original. And there's our edited version. Back and forth. It's pretty cool, huh? Like, Lightroom's magical. What you can do with photos now is absolutely magical. This one, I think we are going to do something just as much, we'll have a little more fun, I think, with this one. Make sure, no, you know what, I like the lean better. Because this isn't, yeah, let's set this up so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Because this isn't being sold as like architecturally sound or as something like the strict standards of a real estate photo or anything like that I would normally do, it's sort of a little more artsy. I'm gonna leave the lean and sort of the whole photos on a bit of a lean. I'm gonna leave that whole thing like that just to you want little, oh, little dog, what are you doing? Oh boy. Come here. Come on, Yappy. Hey, hey, hey. Nobody wants to hear you. Come on. We're not doing that. Come on. Come on, you little Yappy. Come on, Yappy Yapster. Yeah, who's my little girl? Who's my little buddy? Yeah, there must be somebody outside walking around. Anyway, I'm going to leave this photo on a little bit of a tilt. I think artistically it just works better. So what are we going to do with this? It would be kind of cool to make this whole thing a little bit more black and white, except for the blue. Leave the blue as is and make everything else sort of as we did the last photo, you know, a little less contrast. And leave the blue the way it is. Maybe we'll pop the blue a little bit too. So, hi little dog. Hi little dog. You good girl. Hey, that's a good girl. Oh, stop. You monkey. My God. And maybe we'll give this photo as a gift to the mayor of Clearview. Alright, so what was I doing? Got all that done. Yep. Alright, so oh, I kind of like the way this is going already. And if we dehaze it just a little bit. There's a lot, don't like that. Let's do this. Shadows up, exposure down. Lights up a little bit. Oh yeah, I like this. I like this. It's kind of a cool look we've created. I should have made a virtual copy. Anyway, the original kind of looked not quite like that. And not quite like that, but this is where we're going with it. How do we like that? Leave all those up, we should bring that down. But I like that overexposed look in the background. And I bring the blacks way down, the shadows down, the highlights down. Okay. Work on the blue and the white of the sign here. Just a little more blue. Just add a hair of green. Oh boy. Yeah, it doesn't look that good up close, does it? So this won't blow up well. This would be I might be able to get away with like a, I don't know, 4x6 or 8x10, but it's pretty digital in the background. Pop that up just a little bit. Pop the saturation up to add some blue. We're gonna just clean up this edge a little bit. A little bit there, a little bit there. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. I think they were a little hot on there. I'll pop some of that and bring the exposure down a little. And dehaze just a little. Add some detail. Some shadow up. Okay. Now we'll go back to editing the original texture, add some clarity. Yeah, I don't think we want to dehaze that any more than we have. Pop the blues a little. Pop the blue, pop the green. Everything else you can basically shut off. I mean, Just a little bit of exposure to the whole shot. Oh, I like that blown out look with the clear view really jumping and popping in that photo. Oh yeah, I think Doug's gonna like that. How are we gonna do this? Let's crop this. Hi, little dog. Come on. I'm not throwing your toy. Come on. I'll crop this at an 8x10 maybe. Let's see. I like it there or there. Everything in me says that this needs to be the other way, but I kind of like it like that. Like everything in me says to do that, but for some reason I really like this. Let's do that. Let's add some clarity, or we'll sharpen the photo a little bit. Here, let's do this. About there. Clean up the edges. Here we go. Reduce some of the noise. And I think the mayor will like this photo. Just thinking about how good a job I could have done if I actually got the DSLR out. I mean, the iPhone does a nice job with photos for online, but print is, I don't know. But I actually like the photo itself. I like the framing, and I like the way that we've blown it up and really highlighted the blue in clear view. Anyway, I think it'll be something that the mayor will like. Come on, little dog, come here. Come here, you little ripper. Oh, come on. There you are. You're getting fat. Chubby little thing, aren't you? Hey, you're a chubby little thing, aren't you? Oh, stop with your kisses. I don't want your dang kisses. Stop it, dog. Little dog. Stop, little dog. That's my girl. I kind of like having her around. It's fun to have a dog. I told myself I wouldn't have another dog. My last dog, Gibson, the Weimaraner died. I don't know, about a year ago, year and a bit. And I was like, that's my last dog. I don't want another one. And somebody brought this little girl over for. She visits quite often and usually stays with me. Eh? Pretty soon you're just going to be my dog, aren't you? As we all figured that would happen. Yeah. I don't normally like little dogs either. I'm kind of a big dog guy. You know, I've had golden retrievers and labs and Weimaraners and never little mutts like this. A sort of half Chihuahua. I don't know, part Corgi maybe. I don't know what you are. Another one that's so ugly that it's cute. Right? You're so ugly you're cute, right? So, anyway, that isn't editing photos. So let's export these two photos for print. And we'll export them as TIFFs. I'll put them in an iPhone for print. We'll go on our desktop, that's fine. We'll call this print. Type of file, TIFF. What is that? We need these to be 3600 by 24. Or do we? That's 2/3. No, we don't. Oh, we don't. We don't need that at all. Because they're going to be printed different sizes, I don't want to put them at 2/3. Alright, so here we go. We'll print them and then we'll have a look at them. See what we think. Or print them, we'll export them. Have a look at them, see what we think. Looks like they're done. The desktop, here you go. I know, busy desktop. Let's go here. Desktop. This will open probably in Photoshop because it's a TIFF. I don't know, it didn't. Not as good as I like. What about this one? Oh yeah, that one came out nice. Although let's see what it looks like when it's blown up a little. Yeah, I don't know that I like it. I don't know. Hi, little dog. Come on. I'm not sure that... maybe I need to check the settings on the iPhone because I'm not sure that everybody's raving about how great the photos are. I don't know. Not much detail. Looks soft. Little dog, you need to stop that. I don't want you licking me. Okay? I don't want that. I like you, little pal, but... yeah, I don't know. I don't think I like these. Let's see if we maybe can export them differently. TIFF is the best for print. Let's see what happens if we change the export settings here a little bit. Still not getting the detail I want. Right here, like what? Here. It's good when it's wide, but this was way sharper. This was way sharper in Lightroom. Like it looks completely out of focus here. Whereas in Lightroom, the buildings had nice focus to them. I mean, at least they were somewhat sharp. Hi, little dog. Well, we'll see what we can do. The guy who prints these for me, Johnny, he's magical. So we'll see what we can do. Yeah, I wish that was sharper too. I don't know. Maybe there's something in the settings of the iPhone, because this just does not look very good. And everybody is absolutely raving about the iPhone. The iPhone 11 Pro with the 3 fancy camera lenses and the whole shebang. Oh. That didn't come out as well as I would have liked. Hey, little dog. I'm going to load up some video and see what we got going on for video. You're a spoiled, rotten little dog, aren't you? Yeah, you're spoiled, rotten. This is going to struggle to open because I'm missing a couple drives that it will require for the last project I had. I must have bumped something and knocked off 2 of my drives. Yeah, that's what I thought. There we go, that's fine. Little dogs. Little dogs. Little dog is a rescue. She came from the Humane Society. She's a pretty good little dog, though. A little yappy sometimes, but good companion for sure. A pretty good companion. Yeah, you like to hang out. Hey, little buddy. Hey, little buddy. Yeah, who's my girl? Oh, there we go. Let's close that library. Oh, it's still loading, so I can't close it. I don't even remember this house, where it was. Oh, I do remember this house. This was a cool house. I shot this like a number of years ago. Yeah, let's see if we can't. Oh, of course, that's the last one I just shot. Oh, I like this place. This place was like 10 acres. Here, let's go here and take it full screen. Yeah, look at the river, 10 acres. This is my raw footage, so I'm not sure what exactly you're going to see. It doesn't look like much, does it? Yeah, let's back it up. I don't know why I rolled for five minutes, but I did. Oh, I do. Because I did a complete, in those days I used to do a complete circle at different levels, and then I would edit those together. But yeah, this place, I really like this place. The house was almost you knock it down, but look at this. Like you're right on the edge of the town boundary. I mean, it's not the town I want to live in, that's for sure. But the 10 acres is all in here, and this is a ravine, like you're in a valley here with a beautiful river going through. I'm sure in the spring the water gets up to about here, but the house was a knockdown. But look at that, you're right on the edge of the city. Like, it's a small city. But you're right on the edge of the city, you're close to the lake. Oh man, I would have liked that place, and it was sold relatively cheap. From what I'm told, the person who bought it was the person who grew up in the house. He, I guess it had changed hands a couple times, and his parents had built this house, and he bought it and is living there now. So that at least that's a good story. But this river, I don't know if there's any fish in it or anything like that. It's for fishing, but nice to have the river. There's back Back here, there's a fire pit back here. It just was a great locale. And like I said, it's right on the edge of town. Like you can't even hear anything but nature. And there's the road access. And this road is maybe more busy than I'd like, but it's a bypass for the town. Oh, here I am landing. I think I shot this with like a Phantom 3 Pro maybe. And this particular day that I shot this, I got a call from another drone guy who wanted to borrow my remote control because his had died. And I was in, where I live is way on the other side of this. This is the Niagara Escarpment, and I live on the other side of it, and it's about an hour and a half away. I mean, maybe an hour and 10 minutes. So there was no way I could get it to him. But man, that's a cool spot. I wish I'd bought that house. There's only like 3 or 4 that I look at that I've shot and went, you know what, this is me. This was one of those houses. Anyhow, yeah, let's look at the last thing I shot for, this is just a bunch of stills edited together with a few video shots in it for a client. Yeah, that's cool. Is the audio coming through? Oh, it's coming through my mic. Actually kind of wish I'd reversed that shot. So instead of the door opening, the door is closing. This one. There. Like it rendered very well. Yeah, I should just remove that shot. Slow mode it. Funny thing about this is I bought all this furniture from these people. Super nice. So this was a supplied photo. My client supplied this one and the next one and that one. I think one more maybe. And then we compared them to the two that I sent, which is this one and this one. I mean, look at the quality difference. I think these two were shot on a cell phone. Looks like it. And those two are not. This video is actually a really big deal. This client I do aerial footage for usually when she has a really good property for aerials. She never, ever, 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 ever does professional interiors. So when she called me to do this, I was absolutely in shock, and I was like, yeah, for sure. And then I got there, I ended up doing the project for nothing because I bought the furniture from the house. Let's see, what was I going to load up? Oh, we're going to load up that. No, it's still working here. What is it doing? Rendering? Yeah, we can stop that. We're going to close this. Close library. And file, close library. Open library. Okay. I edit on Final Cut Pro, and there's a reason that I use Final Cut Pro and Motion for my graphic work, and it's basically because I'm cheap. Most people use Adobe Premiere and Adobe After Effects, and I have so much trouble with it because After Effects and Premiere is a monthly subscription. Like, you got to pay, I don't know what it is, maybe for the whole package, like $100 a month, and that I have so much trouble justifying that. I know that it's a write-off, and I know that I make money on these products, but I bought Final Cut Pro, I don't know, was it $400 or something, and Motion for $60, and it's a one-time fee. I don't ever have to pay it again, and it works just fine for me. There's a couple of features in Final Cut that I really are in. Oh dang it, this isn't gonna work. In Adobe Premiere that I really like. I really like the content aware feature. I think that's fantastic. I'm missing 2 drives. I really like the content aware feature. I think that's fantastic. Is it this one or this one? The content aware to me is almost worth the money, but I just can't do the monthly subscription. I don't know what it is. It drives me crazy. It's like by the end of the year, I'm paying $1,200 basically a year. I don't remember the exact number, but even if it's $50, which it isn't, I'm paying $600 a year, and I've been doing this since 2006. I've had my own company, and so what's that? 14 years times, say, $500 a year. That's $7 grand I paid for the products. I don't know. I pay one time for Final Cut, $600, and the bit that I wanted to edit now, but I can't seem to find any of the drives because of course they're on the drives that I don't have plugged in. Where are they? Yeah, they are. So we'll have to save that for another time. Oh, there they are. It's similar. I mean, it's me being cheap, but it's not being cheap. I had to pay out, I don't know, $1,500 or $2 grand for a new drone because DJI has decided that they've created no-fly zones in areas that we can legally fly, and it drives me crazy. It drives me bananas, actually, because I'm trying to, I'm trying to make a dollar, and my clients want me to fly in locations that I can legally fly in, but the manufacturer of the drone says, no, we're not going to let the drone fly there. So the whole video I'm about to put together is about that. So anyway, I spent $2,000 on another drone, and that'll fly in those areas, all because of the ridiculousness of DJI. I know they're covering their butts, but man, I love the quality of the video and the stills from that Hasselblad camera on the Mavic 2 Pro. To me, there's nothing else out there like it, especially for such a small drone. And I can fly that drone through anything. Like I can fly it through doors and windows, and I can fly it through split rail fences, and I can fly it just about anywhere. And I love that. I love that. But man, I really dislike that they put in these no-fly zones in areas that I can legally fly. It drives me bananas. Anyway, if another drive would show up here, we could start putting that together. Spinning wheel of death. I am going to upgrade my system. Currently, I shoot on, I don't even shoot on it. I edit on an iMac. It's just a little too slow for me. There's that house that we were just looking at. It's a little too slow for me. I'm going to eventually upgrade to a Pro. But I'm not sure it's going to be this version of the iMac Pro. Another benefit of Adobe Premiere is you can use PC or Mac, and Final Cut's only Mac. Oh, little dog, you destroyed your toy. Oh my God. Look at this. I guess we got to say goodnight to the kitty. Little dog has destroyed the kitty while we were sitting here. What did you do that for? Hey, was there something in there you wanted? There you go. Anyway. Where is that drive? There's one more drive that's not showing up on my drive list. And of course, that's the one with everything we need on it. Yeah, oh boy. You see what I mean by how slow this computer is? There's no doubt about that. This wheel just keeps on slowly uploading. That's not uploading, that's just reading the card. The other day, Sebastian and I were shooting in down near Caledon, Forks of the Credit. Pretty cool home for a new client down there. Anyway, I grabbed some B-roll of the Credit River, running alongside the road, and it just was a mountain scene that looked really cool with the snow. Try to load some of that up. I think that card's in the drone. I enjoy editing, but man, oh man, this part of it is pretty slow. Oh boy. There's a little piece of the pie left here. Oh, there we go. Anyway, I'm going to Cuba in the end of the month. And I think that, look at that, skiing footage. I think that when I go there, I'm going to add a whole bunch of the drone guy pieces for this channel. Is that soft? Oh God, I hope not. Let's just import that. Just for fun. I don't even know where I'm importing it to. It's not even the right one. That's pretty dumb. Oh boy. All right, this is too much. So we're gonna edit, I'll live stream the next edit I do, which will be much faster than this one. At least we got to see a few photos and we got to get our opinion of what the native settings on the iPhone 11, what we think of those, which aren't very high right now. Anyway, we'll see when we print them. When we print them, I'll get some shots and I'll put them up. So, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.